and welcome back to Lantern Creek Farm. I was full eye squinching in that intro, but I ain't gonna change it because I can't do no better. That was my second take. And I ain't gonna spend all that time on that. We're in the garden today. Specifically, the things that I want to get planted today are okra, cucumbers, summer squash. I do not have any more zucchini seed. I thought I did, but I don't. If I did, I can't find it. But we've got some dollar store summer squash I want to get planted. Something else, if we can find find a spot for it. My mother-in-law is wanting to plant this kohlrabi. I think is how you say it, kohlrabi. Along with that, we've got cucumbers. I've got straight eights and double yield. The double yield was what I was most excited about. We started these from seed, and everything died that we started from seed. So, besides the peppers, and they're not doing fantastic. And they're too late now. We've done got peppers in the ground, so they late and $1 short. We've got red burgundy okra we got to get planted. Some Clemson okra. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. And then this is a pack of okra that we have no clue what it is. Don't know what kind it is, but we got it. We also have some cantaloupe. If I can find a spot for cantaloupe, I'll plant it. If I can't, then I can't. And then we have some cucumbers left over. These were our favorite cucumbers from last year. I have no clue what the name of them was. Couldn't tell you, but they were the best pickling cucumbers, and they made a very crunchy pickled cucumber. So we're going to plant these probably, and the double yield. And then we might succession plant the straight eights. So we'll just have to see what we can get in the ground. Like I said, we got the kohlrabi, summer squash, cantaloupe, and okra. So I'm going to go ahead and start marking out the rows. We do not have that much space left. We've got an entire row through here, but we don't know what we want to put in it. We know that we want to leave space for some more tomatoes, so we'll just have to see. But let's get to work, guys. I gotta get me a hammer. The ground's too solid. We do the line for two specific reasons. We do the line so that we can space the rows out evenly. That way we can get our rototiller through. We also do a line that way we can keep our rows as straight as possible. That way they look neat. And also, you know, if they're not straight, then the rototiller is going to run things over. So we keep our hoes good and sharp. You don't keep them sharp. If it's just got a blunt edge, you're going to be doing a lot more work than you need to. Think it's straight enough? Well, the back here says 18 to 24 inches apart. Online, I read 12 to 18, and I also read 10. We're going to probably get it around 10. I don't have room to put these 24 inches apart. I do not have room to put these 8 inches apart, and 12 inches would be pushing it. So we're just going to try to squeeze it in. So this is one of those instances, do as I say, not as I do. It'll be okay. We've planted it closer than that before, and it's fine. So anyways, we're going to plant it around 9 to 10 inches apart, get it in the ground. So let's see. I want to do some of the red burgundy first. This is a variety we have not grown before. I started them from seed, but not grown them. I'm guesstimating on the inches, guys. I want to go out on a limb here and tell you all that gardening is not rocket science. It's as hard as you're going to make it. Yes, I'm putting these seeds closer together than what it says. Is it going to be that big of a deal towards the end? Probably not. And it don't have to be perfect. Food has been growing by itself for years and years and years without any help from man. So I'm not worried about it. We did Burgundy, we did Clemson, and then I'm just going to finish the row off with whatever this brand is, whatever this name of this is. Oh, that was way too many. And I marked the end of the rows because these are kind of like ground color and they're harder to see. I marked the end of the rows with the packet. And like I said before, we're not going all the way down. I probably went less than halfway because I want to leave a walking space here. That way we can get in and out of the garden. All right, let's cover these seeds. Leave it where it's at, please. Marking the end of them rows. All right, guys, this is our cucumber trellis. It is a 16-foot cattle panel or hog panel, whatever you want to call it. And this is what we're going to put our cucumbers on. I think what I'm going to do, we've got some seed from last year. I told you all in the beginning that was like the best pickling cucumber we've had. And we got some double yield. I haven't done the double yield yet before, so we don't even know if we're going to like it. So I definitely want to plant more of what I know we like and less of what we've not tried before. So I planted those last cucumbers like fairy dust. I planted them kind of thick, but like I said, we can pull some up if we need be, and they're, you know, seed from last year, and so there's no guarantee anything's going to germinate. And around here, we'd rather plant it thick and then pull some later than not plant it thick enough and nothing come up. So now we're going to move on to the double yield cucumber. I don't have as much seed as of these, so we're definitely going to plant those a little bit thinner. I'm going to go through down the row and see how much I have. Then we'll add more as needed, or we'll have to just put something else in. I do want to save some of these seeds, so. That is all I'm going to use of that because I only have a little bit of seed of these. There's just not much left, and if I want a succession plant, I really need to save this seed back. So we will finish the rest of the row. I got to about here. We're going to finish the rest of the row in that other cucumber. We finished that off in straight eights. I've got plenty of straight eights, but I do not have plenty of the double yield, and so like I said, I do want to save some seed out of that. There was only maybe about 8 seeds left in the packet. So anywho, we're gonna cover these seeds up now. The taters are not doing fantastic. Most of this is grass. We planted them on Good Friday, or my father-in-law and mother-in-law planted. I got hair sticking up. It's aggravating me. Planted them on Good Friday, and unfortunately after that we had about 3 good frosts, which killed a lot of pumpkins and killed off a lot of these taters. And so they're very sparse. That third row, as you can tell, is just horrific. But I'm going to get in here and take the grubbing hoe and hoe up and hill up around the potatoes. Hoeing is no joke. So I did the one side. Now I'm going to work my way up the other side and do it for the rest of the 3 other rows. Probably not going to video that. Y'all probably don't want to see all that, do you? All right, we got the taters done. Don't they look so much better? I don't know if y'all can tell on camera, but it is. It's better. I did realize though the significance of how bad that third row is. There's only like 5 plants up in that row. Might be more than that, but not much. So I don't know. We might tear it up. We might not. I don't know. Looking at the lettuce and the cabbage there, and I need to cut some of the lower leaves off the cabbage. That it just don't look good, and the cabbage could already start the lettuce could already start probably start harvesting some, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go through there with a pair of scissors and go ahead and start clipping those bottom leaves off. Can you kind of see how these leaves down here on the bottom are just not doing fantastic? I'm just going to go ahead and cut them off, because we're not going to be able to eat those anyways, so ain't no sense in. And this right here is another plant, so I'm not going to chop it. Although it's got a dead looking leaf there, so I'm going to work my way down the road. This cabbage plant here has got some things on it that's not looking great either, like that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. It's not going to hurt it to cut those outside bottom ones off. Just the ones that look bad, which there's not many. Feel like I've gotten a lot accomplished today. Still got more to do. I'm gonna go ahead and put in a row of summer squash in. You playing volleyball?
Yeah.
She's outside. We got the volleyball net up. She's been playing volleyball and what? Badminton.
I'm not that good, so I was like, well, we ain't playing, but I might as well get some practice.
Yeah, she's playing by herself right now because everybody's working. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and stake out a row at the end of those cucumbers and put some summer squash. We don't need a bunch of summer squash in. You know what I could do? Instead of putting it in the end of that, do you all see where these potatoes, like the potatoes end, let me see if they end up, they end over there, right here in the camera. It's harder to find than you think it would be. They end right there, so from there to here there's nothing. Now I'll have to tell people that there's stuff there, that way they won't run through it. But I could plant the summer squash on the end. Did you just hit yourself in the face?
Yeah.
I caught that on camera. She just hit herself in the face.
And it come up and hit me in the lip.
Oh no. There's only like two plants on this far end of where these potatoes are at. I think I'm just gonna take those out of there. Sorry for the light going up and down. I don't know if it's gonna show for you all, is it going up and down? But what's the point of leaving those and then just wasting that entire row? So I'm gonna go to the point where can you all see it right there, where most of the potatoes are? There's only like 5 plants up there, and they're not really they're doing so slow. So I'll just start from there and clear that row out, and then that way we can use it for different things. But I'm going to go ahead and plant some summer squash there. We love summer squash. It's absolutely delicious. It's one of Lakin's favorites. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my mother-in-law's favorites. And so, you know, Let's just make some room for it. And it said do them about 12 inches apart. So we'll do some right here. Well, I thought I had a 4th seed. I don't know what happened to it. All right, I'll run the hoe over these, and then we've got an entire row there that we can plant something in now. We went from running out of space in the garden to having this whole entire section here. So we'll have to figure out what somebody wants to put there. But that's a good little section there. And in that section there, we got some summer squash planted. So that was one of my goals today. My goal today was to get the cucumbers planted, the okra planted, and the summer squash. And I did that along with getting the taters healed up, the lettuce trimmed, and a few of the cabbage leaves trimmed as well. Okay, so up next we have the kohlrabi, and I was going to put it in this raised bed here. I don't know if you can tell, that's where I'm at, right here. I planted some onions here and they didn't come up, and I believe these are radishes that my father-in-law planted. I need to check with him for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what's planted here. So we need to figure out a spot for this kohlrabi. And if you notice here, this is garlic, and right here in this spot on the other side of this stick, there's nothing planted. It's just kind of weeds and stuff coming up there. So I thought, since this is not really a necessity, this is just kind of an experiment to see, you know, if we like this or if we don't. I was thinking about putting some seeds there. It says sow thinly, so I'm going to assume that's more than one area. I don't know. I ain't never planted it. So I'm going to work this soil a little bit. And it says don't really put that much soil. It says put the soil thin over top. These are little tiny seeds. So let me pull them out here. You don't see them? They're small. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of I don't think that's how it's supposed to be done, but that's how it's going to be done. That's how we're doing it. I told you all when I was planting that okra that gardening is not rocket science. It's as hard as you make it. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. And so if that means sprinkling some kohlrabi seed, something that you've never planted, in the soil to see if it comes up, and that's what it means, guys. I'm a simple person. I try not to make things complicated. And like I said, I'll say it again for the people in the back. Gardening is not rocket science. Let's not make it harder than what it is. Well, I'm pondering still on the cucumbers, or the cantaloupe, where I need to put the cantaloupe. But then I got to thinking, we've got some peppers and tomatoes left the other day that we didn't plant. And I have had to replace one tomato up there that got broke. And somehow a pepper, like the second pepper at the end of one of these rows was like just gone. Like the entire pepper was excuse me, something something got my throat right there. The entire pepper was gone. And so I have a pepper here. Don't know what kind of pepper this is. We've done took the steak out of it. I have no clue what kind of pepper that was. I believe it was a jalapeno. I don't know if this is jalapeno. We'll see. But I'm going to replace it, put that one in. Can y'all see it? It's like a hill, but there's nothing there. There's the, let's see. There's the only thing that's left of that plant. I don't know what happened to it. We're gonna go ahead and replace it though. Might be a jalapeno, might not. Who knows? We'll see. I thought before I watered these tomatoes, I probably need to go ahead and hill them up, hill the bottom of them up. I got to thinking while I was hoeing around them tomatoes that some of you watching might not know why we do that. Some of you probably maybe have never heard of doing that. Well, like I said before, gardening is not rocket science. Let's not make it harder than it needs to be. I told you all that we spaced these rows that we could run the rototiller in between them. That way we can weed out a lot easier. Well, the hoeing around the tomatoes, sorry there's a bug flying around me and landing on me. The hoeing around the tomatoes does essentially the same thing that the rototiller is going to do in the center here. It's going to get the weeds out. It's going to weed the garden. It's going to make this more clear. Well, why do we weed? Well, we weed because, one, it looks nice, but that's not the important reason. We weed so that the weeds and the grass and stuff does not take from the plant, does not take moisture from the plant. Essentially, it's the same reason why we hoe around the bottom and hill up around the bottom of the plant. What is that going to do? Well, it's going to pull weeds up. It's going to cover the bottom of the plant so they don't get as many weeds around them. It's also going to hold moisture a lot better. So that's why I'm hilling up the bottom of these tomatoes before I go ahead and water them. That way they're going to hold moisture a lot better, and obviously it's going to kill the weeds as well. If I'm covering up the weeds and the grass and I'm cutting them out, it's going to allow the plants to get more moisture than they would if we just allowed weeds to grow up around the bottom of them. We're going to do this quite a few times throughout the garden season. You're going to see us doing it maybe if I video it. We're going to do that quite a bit. We're going to continue to do that as long as we can to get them weeds out and to allow the plants to have moisture. If you know anything about us, and if you watched the garden last year, I think we watered maybe twice the entire garden season. I'm going to go ahead and water today just because I put more seeds in the ground. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't even water. We're probably going to get rain in the next couple days. I don't know that for sure. But I'm just going to go ahead and do this, go ahead and get this out of the way along with all the other things I've done today, which I feel like I've done a million things. I've been in the garden almost the entire day. We're going to go ahead and do this before we water. That way them plants will hold a lot more moisture, and of course, so we're not watering the weeds to allow them to grow even more. 51 steaks and 51 tomatoes later. My hands, my body's wore out. But they look good, don't they? Well, I got the tomatoes done, and then I got to thinking, well, if I'm going to do the tomatoes, might as well do everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and get the peppers done and the beans done. All right, guys. So I said I was going to water, but I decided against it. I am going to water the seeds in, but that's it. I'm not going to water the rest of these, mostly because, well, two reasons. It's going to rain tonight. And the second reason is I'm wore out. I started working in the garden around 2 o'clock today, and I've almost continuously worked in the garden the entire day. So I've been out here a very large part of the day, and I've been working. And I've been getting stuff done, which is amazing. But I'm tired. And I really don't feel like dragging that hose over here and setting up that thing, especially if it's going to be raining anyways. So I'm going to finish up here. And I'm going to grab, let's see, we keep water jugs right there. I'm gonna grab those water jugs. I think both of them leak. I'm gonna grab them and water in the seeds that we have, and then finally we'll be done with the garden work today. Thank goodness it only took one jug. It has been a very productive day. I'm so excited with everything I got done. I got everything hoed out besides the rows of corn that are back here. And the primary reason I didn't hoe those out is because they're already stacked up and because I'm feeling lazy. I'm wore out. And and it's late, and also my mother-in-law just fed me, and so I just had green beans and chicken and dumplings and mashed potatoes, and so I'm full on that. And this ground is wet right here, and I'm getting wet. And I've just been working in the garden all day. I'm tired. On top of that, we've done our farm chores, and then Andy was working on the roof, and so I did his farm chores. And I don't say it to complain. Today's been a wonderful day. It's been a very productive day. I got a lot done, and I'm thankful for it. Thankfully, I got all of it done before it started raining. You know what? I'm sitting here thinking it's getting ready to rain, and I really need to just go ahead and hoe them corn rows up. It's only 3 rows. I can hoe up 3 rows of corn. So I'll probably do that. I also wanted to say, I don't know if I mentioned it when I was talking about why we hoe up around our stuff. Another reason why, and it's very obvious in the corn. Can you see like those big chunks there? We have clay soil, and when it's dry, it just kind of gets like concrete. It gets really hard. And so if you've got plants that are trying to take root, or you want your plants to get some deeper roots on them, you're gonna have to hoe around them, and just get that done. That way, the roots can grab a hold of something, spread out some. Well, guys, all that to say, I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I got a lot done today. There's a lot that I didn't record, but there's a lot that I did record, and I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Also, I think I'm gonna title this video that gardening isn't rocket science, because I've said it so much throughout this video. It's not, and I'm showing you all how we garden. That way you can just take the easy route and still produce enough food to out of the garden to make it on. As long as everything goes good, as long as the Lord blesses it, we'll be fine. We'll be able to live off of or sustain ourselves off of quite a bit from what we grow. We're not going to be able to completely sustain ourselves off of this, but that's why we raise meat as well. And guess what, guys? We still go to the grocery store. We still buy stuff at the grocery store, and that's fine. That's okay. And so, anyways, this is a long 3 minute. I'm over 3 minutes now ending. But guys, I appreciate it so much. God bless you all, and hopefully we can see you on the next one. Bye.